Hey guys, Sure Shot Midget here. So I am doing a video on my first bullpup rifle. Now I've shot an AUG before, back in like 2014 when I was, maybe it was 2015, it was 2014. I was a junior in high school, something like that. My dad took me out to a shooting range on my birthday and we rented an AUG. I shot maybe 80 to 100 rounds through it, not a whole lot. My dad's kind of a cheapskate, okay? So we didn't spend a whole lot on ammunition to shoot through it, but it was a great time. I think I still have a video on my phone from that. And then I shot a friend's uncle's within this year. He got one as well just recently. And I've always wanted one. They're very iconic. You know, I grew up in the late 90s, but you know, the 80s and 90s action movies like Die Hard and all that sort of stuff, the AUG was very prominent in those. But it was mostly Call of Duty is when I grew up playing, and I always wanted the AUG. Now there's issues with the AUG, mainly ergonomic. They're not great guns ergonomically. They're not modern. I mean, they were adopted in the late 70s. So they're very old guns, really. Older than you think. They kind of look futuristic, but they're not. So I'm just going to get into it. This is a AUG A3 with the extended rail is the version that I bought. Now that comes with some issues because the extended rail version doesn't fit a lot of rail systems. I did not like the original grip that folded down. Sure, it's iconic, so iconic. That's what just the way the original grip was. But me, I wanted this gun to be practical. This was not a collector's piece or anything like that. I wanted this to be a practical gun. In fact, the top three before shit hits the fan. That is what I wanted. And so that is what I created. So this rail system on here is a Mark II from Steyr. So my option was to spend $400 on this rail, or it was to spend $125 on a new rail of the top that was not the extended one, and then $125 to $150 on a rail system. So I basically just shelled out an extra $100 on the Mark II from Steyr that came with the whole setup. Just said, F it, it's a Steyr product, I trust it. So I am going to start from the front and go to the back. So the front here, it is a flash hider. Now this flash hider is not great. Now it hides flash, but it does not reduce recoil at all. So this is kind of similar to the A2 flash hider on an AR or M16, M4, A1, M4 in general, whatever. Comes on so many different ARs, pretty much most. But, so it normally has 3 notches for the gas to go up. It also hides flash. This one actually has 5. So there's an extra one on each side. So the bottom is not as closed. So it's not compensating as much. So this gun actually does have muzzle rise. Now, it doesn't kick, it doesn't hurt the shoulder, but it goes up. So rapid fire shots is kind of hard. Again, the Mark II Steyr rail system on here with a BCM vertical grip. Now this is M-LOK. There's not a whole lot of space on here. That's the issue with the AUG. You don't have a whole lot of sections on here. I do have a ladder rail cover on the top to protect my thumb from holding it over top. Now to take this off, you flip these levers. You gotta finesse it a little bit to get it off. It's good, it's tight. Now you do maintain I'm gonna block the bolt back, you maintain the quick change barrel. So you push the lever down, you flip it to the side, you can pull the barrel out. Now this is a cold hammer forged barrel. It is not chrome lined like the Australian and Austrian military ones are. So the ones that are made for the military are chrome lined and cold hammer forged. These are US made ones that are only cold hammer forged. Look it up, it's true. Now over here it says 1 in 9, it says 5.56 by 45, 1 in 9 twist, and then up here it also says 5.56. Hold it out backwards again. Great. All right, we got a little bit of cloud cover here, so I'm gonna let it rip. All right, now I'm gonna shoot 150. I pulled that one. A couple of those I missed. It's all the I blame the trigger because it's not a great trigger, so I'm pulling the shots, but not too bad. Charging handle folds up and then out, so you can rack it. You can also lock it back like an MP5. Kind of stupid in my opinion, because you know it's with the optics, it's kind of hard to hit. So the bolt lock back here, and lock it back, and again, just like a normal, like an AR, you push on the top portion, releases. You have 2 magazine catches. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that with these, at least the NATO ones. Now, for the longest time, these NATO magazine, the ones that took the AR mags, did not have a bolt lock. It was like a year or 2 ago, they released them with the bolt lock. Make sure you get the one with the bolt lock, okay? Don't get one of the older ones. So you can reach up here, hit it with your thumb. Now it is kind of recessed, so you don't accidentally hit it. So you do have to kind of deliberately reach up and get it. Or you can use the one back here with your thumb as well. Either way, it's not so bad. You have 2 options. As a lefty, you would definitely want to use this one. You're not going to use the one on the side. But some people are going to want to use this one because you have to strip the magazine anyways. Unless the magazine has a couple of rounds left. If it has 10 or more rounds, it will drop free. If the magazine is empty, it won't drop free, whether the bolt is back or forward. It won't. It's a tight mag well. That is unfortunate because that makes reloads slower. So you have to strip the mag, put a new one in. The optic on here is a SIG Buckmaster. This is a 3-12 by 44. So I have a 4-16 Buckmaster as well on my 308. I was happy with it. I saw this on sale, $100 when it was normally $150, and I said, well, I already have a Buckmaster and I know I like it. I'm gonna buy it. But I've been happy with the performance. It's an LPVO type, I guess you could say. It goes from 3-12 and it's got that arm on it. And I really do like this optic. My sweet spot is 8 magnification. 8 to 10 is kind of where I like to keep it for the range at least. This magazine is a Lancer. I've used the Lancers, I've used Magpul, I've used Duramag, and a KCI aluminum Stanag. And they've all worked. Safety. So it's on safe. Good rule of thumb is if you reach up and you feel this block, it's on safe. When it's forward, it's on fire. So if it's out of the way, you can kind of feel it. Oh, it's on safe. Fire. I did upgrade the trigger springs. With the Steyr red springs, they reduced the poundage by 2 to 3 pounds. You push in on the back, pull the pin, pull the back out, and then the trigger pack literally just pulls out. This is such a simple system, and you can see, hopefully, the red springs in there. Those weren't hard to change at all. They were pricey to get the red springs. It was like $70 shipped from Steyr. So Steyr stuff is not cheap. What is wild is this whole pack is plastic. That is really what is crazy in my opinion. It's this pin back here. Yeah, with the barrel in, I can do that, can't I? Yeah, so with the barrel still in, you can pull it off completely, and then the bolt carrier just comes out. Now this is a short stroke gas piston, but it's got a long op rod, and it has a spring-loaded bolt, which is interesting. Now I have shot some pretty decent range with it. I've shot at 400 yards, and I was so impressed. The trigger's not the best, even though I did upgrade the springs. Here's what it looks like. So it's kind of, you get resistance right away, but it's also mushy. See how it kind of mushes, and then it drops. long reset. It is better. If you buy an AUG, you need to get the red trigger springs. It's noticeable, but it's still like a 6-pound trigger, I would say. But it's better. So every time I missed the target, even at 400, it was because of me, because I pulled it with the trigger. I know that for a fact. I could feel it. It was on me. Now the ammunition I use is nothing special. It's a 62 grain because that is going to be good for the 1 in 9. If this had a 1 in 7, I'd be using a heavyweight open tip. But I'm not going to spend $250, $300 on a 1 in 7 twist barrel. Sorry, not going to do it. So I just used PMC M855. Muzzle velocity out of this gun is about 2,900 feet per second. The 16-inch, you're going to get 29. It says 2920 on the box. That is out of a 16 is what they estimate that out of.